Okay, so here's the deal. This is my first vlog. Never done it before. I'm sure you've heard that a million times by other people. But today, what I want to go over is I saw this thing on Yahoo, and it's titled Superbad Top Movie Supervillains. And basically, this is of all time, and there's 16 of them. So I just want to. There's some I didn't really agree with, and there's some I definitely agree with. So I just want to go over it. Number one, of course, they have The Dark Knight's Heath Ledger as a Joker, and I saw the movie just yesterday. He did a great job. It's hard to say if he maybe should be in here, but he definitely did the Joker justice. He did a great job on the Joker, and the Joker is probably the #1 villain in any Batman movie. He's the most recognizable, so he's definitely an iconic villain. Number two, Darth Vader. Everyone knows who Darth Vader is. He's an iconic character. He's definitely evil. The plot twists around him, with him being Luke's father. I hope I didn't give that away to anyone who hasn't seen the movie yet. He's basically the face of Star Wars. That's probably the first person you think of when you think of Star Wars, so definitely he belongs on the list. Number three, they have Lord Voldemort from the Harry Potter series. And basically, as far as the movies go, I don't know if I agree with him being here yet, because we haven't seen him be that super bad guy. I mean, you definitely feel like he could beat Harry Potter, but Harry Potter always has that kind of happy feeling. You know, the movies have that happy feeling, like they always come out on top, and this guy basically always loses. Probably as far as that kind of genre goes, he probably does belong here. The number four that they got in this spot is Megatron from Transformers, and I have a pretty big problem putting this guy here. Yeah, it's a big CGI movie, it sold a lot of money, but as far as putting this guy there is one of the top 16 all-time supervillains, he definitely does not belong here. He was frozen for half the movie. He didn't really do much except kill one Transformer who no one cared about. Maybe with Transformers 2 coming out, maybe you'll see him more, and he may move into this list, maybe, but I think he's got a way to go before he's really considered all-time great. Number five, they have Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Man's Chest. This guy definitely does not belong here at all. He's kind of cool-looking guy, I guess, but he never instilled any kind of fear into you. At any point did you say, wow, this guy could maybe beat one of these people? No, this guy doesn't really belong here. Captain Barbossa, by far, even though he turns kind of good, he's definitely more iconic and more of a supervillain than Davy Jones was. Number six, Agent Smith, Matrix. Absolutely belongs here. This guy, you know who he is. All he did, even as the Matrix movies went on and they got worse, this guy got better. So he definitely belongs here. He totally is an iconic character. He's a super villain, super powerful, probably just as powerful, if not he became more powerful than Neo. Super smart, unlimited resources. He belongs here. Now, number seven definitely doesn't belong here. They got Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 3 or 2, and he doesn't belong here for a bunch of reasons. One, he's not that even cool of a character. He had cool arms, but the guy who played him was not that great, I didn't think. As far as a villain goes, I never really worried about Spider-Man. And the arms were really the bad guy, not him. You know, I mean, he was a pretty good guy, and they took control of him, and he turned good later, and he helped Spider-Man. Yeah, I just don't feel like he belongs here. As far as Spider-Man series goes, I feel like maybe even the Green Goblin deserves to be here more, but at the same time, I don't think either one of them really belongs to be here. Number eight, the Wicked Witch of the West, the Wizard of Oz, totally belongs here. I mean, the Wicked Witch of the West was totally cool. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it's the first movie in color, Technicolor. She was this green face. She had the big hat. She had minions, the flying monkeys. The trees were on her side. It was a fluke that water took her out by accident. Didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? But she definitely belongs here. She's an iconic character. I mean, you think of Wizard of Oz, and she comes to mind for sure. Now, number 9, they have General Zod from Superman 2. Now, I remember this movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. And I remember these guys were kind of cool because they were just didn't really care. And they were like, hey, we have superpowers now. Let's screw everybody up and mess everyone up. And, hey, the Superman guy kind of ticks us off. There's 3 of us. Let's take him on. But if you think about it, as far as Superman goes, why are they here and not Lex Luthor? I mean, they had superpowers. They lasted for 1 movie. They gave Superman problems, right? 1 movie. How many times did Lex Luthor, a regular human being, give Superman more trouble than these guys whose butts were kicked out of space in 1 single movie? So, replace them with Lex Luthor, and I think we got something. Number 12 is the T-1000 from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. But the T-1000 played by this guy was so good. And the T-1000 was far superior to the T-100, who played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. So he's even more powerful as a bad guy than the good guy is. They had to outsmart this dude, and they barely pulled it off. He almost got them anyway. And here's an interesting fact, is the guy who played the T-1000 wasn't even wanted for the job at the beginning. The people who had interviewed him, basically, and he casted for, they walked out of the room, and they came back, and he didn't have a good feeling. So as they came in the room, he had that crazy look in his eye just looking at him, and that's it. That's when they knew. So he almost didn't get the job until he pulled that off. Number 13, they get the Queen from Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. Now, she was definitely evil, and I remember there was something went on with this where they wanted to get rid of the scene where she fell off the cliff at the end because it was too brutal. But she deserved it, man. She was a bad person. She wanted to kill people just because she wanted to kill Snow White just because she was prettier than her. And if you think about it, that is twisted. Like, she was all up in arms just because she wasn't as pretty as Snow White. That is crazy. So, I'd say, yeah, she does belong there. And in fact, as far as Disney goes and their animated films go, I can't think of someone who would belong here more than her. So I'd say the Queen from Snow White does belong on this list. Number 14, they have the One Ring from Lord of the Rings. They say the antagonist of the 3 epic films was the Dark Lord Sauron, but he was just an eyeball. The menace came from the band. You know who does belong here more? Is that indestructible knight. He's basically the face of the bad guys. Remember the one who flies around? He probably belongs here more, even though you didn't see him a whole lot. But not the Ring. No. No to the Ring. Now, at number 15, they have Syndrome from The Incredibles. I don't really know where they got this from, man. I mean, he was just some stupid kid with a hard-on for The Incredibles. I don't think that any Pixar movie or any Pixar movie really has a really good bad guy. Animated, let's go with stop motion animation, Tim Burton, and go with the Sandman. Belongs here more than this guy. He was a pretty cool guy, but I'm having a hard time really thinking of someone off the top of my head who belong here more than Syndrome, but Syndrome does not belong here at all. Number 16 of 16, they have Satan from South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, which is really friggin' stupid. Maybe it's just as a joke they put it in, but if you want to have Satan, pick Satan from Legend and put him in here. He belongs here. And this Satan was just kind of a funny Satan. It wasn't really much of a supervillain. So he doesn't belong here at all. Now, people who belong here more, or maybe are missing from this list, how about Dr. Evil, if you want a comedy? He could replace Satan. He's definitely a mastermind, I guess you could call him, villain, but he's definitely a villain, and he's nothing but a villain. How about Zool from Ghostbusters, with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man? The computer from iRobot, the main computer, she was bad. Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. He deserves to be here. So basically, there's my rundown of it. I definitely don't agree with some of them. Some definitely belong here, like Darth Vader, without a doubt. So that's my first vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. And go check out some of my other stuff. I get some funny stuff hanging out. So I'll talk to you later. Don't know when my next one will be. Take care.